Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so today is our fifth podcast.
Yeah, fifth episode.
And
last week's was our first special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got a few little bits of news to go over, I guess.
We do.
First things first, I guess talk a little channel talk, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We just got the music in for the most recent Super Comedy Bros.
Yes.
It was a little delayed, unfortunately, just because we just got a little caught up on the little editing bits. So, but we're doing the final edit in a couple days, and it should be up probably Friday.
Yeah, the term computer wipe tends to make people go, oh, okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there was a computer wipe.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't really lose too much, but it did set production back a bit. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, still good. Moving on to, I guess, news.
Yeah, nerd news.
Have you seen the Wreck-It Ralph teaser?
I have.
Yeah. Mixed thoughts on it.
Yeah.
On one hand, funny.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, not really about video games.
Yeah, it's really weird because when I saw the trailer for the first one, I thought, oh man, this is my jam. This one, I was like, ooh, this is like...
Yeah, this is literally a Dave Chappelle bit.
Yeah, or it's like, I don't know, it's like the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
It's a little less gross because it doesn't have specific branding on it, but like, it's the same kind of feel to it.
So it need to, I don't know, like... We'll have to see how it goes, but if the thing is making fun of like apps and iPhone games, like it's just not.
Yeah.
It's relevant, and I get that it's relevant for the audience that's going to go see it. The bigger audience, which is kids, but like.
I mean, they were going to go anyways. I mean, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park, and the entire. I mean, yeah, it did have a lot of modern stuff, but the entire film was sold on the retro thing.
Yeah, and this is kind of like, ooh, all right, well, I mean, how many times can we make fun of like memes and stuff like that? But I will have to say the joke at the end is pretty funny.
Oh, the bunny?
The bunny one.
Oh my god, yeah, that was pretty funny.
So it'll deliver on laughs.
Yeah.
And I'll still go see it, but...
I'm sure I'm going to like the movie. It's just, it's disappointing to see it get away from the like... retro game thing, you know?
And maybe it won't.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, this could be a marketing thing, right? Because that's gonna get kids super excited. I mean, they know that the adults want to go see it anyways because it's, whatever.
Yeah, and it could be funny if by going on the internet, like they find out even more how irrelevant they are, and that could be funny.
Oh, like a bit of an existential thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they know within the confines of their arcade. Ralph knows nobody plays it. Like, he's aware.
Yeah, he's aware that, like, that he could just be gone like that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really understand the scope.
Yeah, so, like, if they get on the internet and they find out, like, oh, there's, like, one arcade per city nowadays, stuff like that, I think that might be funny, but who knows?
Yeah, I guess I could be. Yeah, like, because he's, like, kind of like essentially like a hillbilly by modern standards, like, because he's like an old video game. He has no idea of like the scope of things.
Yeah.
But then like Vanellope seems to be aware of what the internet is and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I could kind of see that.
We'll see.
Something about Wreck-It Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like occurred to me the other day when I was thinking about it, and it's a little. So Wreck-It Ralph is just a Toy Story with video games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the video games are alive and they don't act like it when people are around and all that. Yeah. And that's fine. It's like and every instance of a video game is its own entity, much like in Toy Story. Like every Buzz Lightyear is its own sentient entity.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little more disturbing in some ways because like in Toy Story, it's like whatever, like they could leave. They have that agency and they choose to stay because they enjoy being with kids and all that. in Wreck-It Ralph, they're locked to those cabinets essentially, and when a game goes offline, they die. Like that's it. Like they're toast.
Yeah, because they like live in the surge protector though, right? Like when the games are done.
Yeah,
but they like live in the cabinet.
They live in the cabinet. The surge protector is how they get from game to game.
Yeah, that's right.
So like, if there's a power surge and it goes off, boom, they're toast. And if they do leave, like everybody was evacuating the thing. Well, when the game gets rebooted, it's repopulated.
Yeah.
And so they would just be living in like Hubert, just living in the surge protector.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's kind of a little disturbing. The more I thought about it, we got a little existential.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you realize that like Sonic almost died in that movie.
Yeah, Sonic almost ate it hard.
Yeah.
He was on the PSAs like, make sure you don't die outside your game, or else you die for real. And then he gets hit with a spaceship.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh God, where's my rings?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was no good.
Remember, kids, don't die outside your game, because that's no good. Oh, man. That's pretty good. Yeah. And at the same time, they only showed the bunny thing, right? Because that was probably like a good, quick laugh, and it didn't have anything to do with the plot. For all we know, it could be a lot more dived into like online games, like consoles or whatever.
Yeah.
So for all we know, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Disney Studios hasn't disappointed in quite a while, so. Next thing, we got a couple small stuff out of the way. Let's start with the movies. What's his name? Zack Snyder made some passing comments making fun of the Henry Cavill mustache situation.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to think is good-natured, but might have been passive-aggressive, hard to say.
Yeah, that whole situation seems passive-aggressive. Like, I've even read an article where, like, Joss Whedon was saying, oh, the homeless guy in the movie that said, sorry, I tried, was my secret message to the fans because I couldn't save this film. And it's like, dude, come on, really?
Yeah.
Like,
which homeless guy?
Joss Whedon?
No.
The homeless guy. In the movie, there's like a homeless guy and he's got a sign that says, sorry for trying.
Oh,
I tried, or something like that, yeah. And it's kind of, I don't know, I think that's the new thing in Hollywood is I feel like a lot of like actors and directors are now starting to get real snarky about their own projects.
Yeah.
Pushing blame on somebody else. And I don't know, I think it's unprofessional.
Yeah, it really is.
And Zack Snyder seems to be pretty professional about things, but whether or not it's passive aggressive or...
Yeah, or they had the most, like, immature but also low-key kind of, like, deal a while back where somebody was taking a pot shot at... it was like Batman v Superman or something. I don't know. It was something that Snyder had done, and like Joss Whedon had just liked the tweet.
Yeah.
And then in response, like Zack Snyder liked some tweet making fun of like a Joss Whedon thing.
Yeah.
But now, to be fair, on the flip side, we don't have any context on this, and they could just be messing around. Like they could be pals. I mean, like
who knows? It's. Ego, like when you get with egos and movies and stuff, it's kind of to me I watch the movies and I try to just leave the people making it. I try to not associate them with the character. I just try to enjoy the character because I feel like
that whole "don't meet your heroes" thing.
Yeah. So who knows?
I don't know.
It's an issue that I think we're going to be hearing about for like the next 10 years because
well, it's because like these people in like Hollywood and whatnot now, I mean they didn't grow up with social media, and so like that's not really like an etiquette that has existed, and then like the younger generations like ours and a little bit younger are growing up with it, but then the people that came before them didn't, so they don't have any advice.
So
then like our kids we're gonna be able to be like, all right, now listen.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing called watch what you tweet.
Yeah.
Because like I mean like think about it. I mean when we were growing up, we were told like by everybody. Just like absolutes, right? Like never talk to anybody on the internet and all this stuff because like they didn't adults when we were growing up didn't understand anything with the internet.
Yeah.
So we get these like broad advice like that, and then of course nobody listens to it because it's so blanketed,
Yeah. And, yeah.
So it's like they get told the same thing now. It's like, oh, just stay off that Facebook and all that and blah blah blah, and of course you're gonna ignore just blanket statements like that.
Yes.
And then you got grown men who really should know better, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I also think it'd be really funny if they're just good friends and they're just having a good laugh together.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. Speaking of, actually not speaking of Joss Whedon, but I'm going to make the segue anyways. There's a picture from Infinity War that showed off some new costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Which one?
I'll bring it up while we're talking. It showed a new costume for Scarlet Witch that no longer had Scarlet on it.
Yeah.
It is now green. And
Yeah.
she's standing next to Hulk, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I have seen these.
Yeah, okay. And then had the weird Iron Man suit that looked like Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
But like Jaime Reyes, like the kid Blue Beetle.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is weird, but cool. I have to admit, it's cool and looks different from all the other suits, so I'm into it. And he's got like a big old
blaster.
I did a blaster.
Like Mega Man motion.
Yeah. That raises the question: does he lose a hand? Right? Because like,
or does he just have a gun?
Well, because like, and I didn't like bust out the measurements or anything, but it looked like I'm pantomiming a lot. It looked like the gun part started halfway through his forearm, but I could just,
it could just be like
perspective.
Like opens up and
yeah.
Yeah, I have seen those. So those are,
that looks pretty cool.
Some of them are pretty neat. Yeah. Talking about costumes, though, have you seen there's a behind the scenes photo from Shazam?
No.
No? Okay, we need to look this up because it is, when people say comic book accurate, it is as comic book accurate as you could physically and possibly get. I was thinking we'd see a textured, rubberized Shazam suit. No, he is wearing spandex.
Oh, wow. All right, hold on. Shazam movie set photos.
Yeah, he's wearing spandex.
Oh, boy.
And it is the Shazam outfit with the half cape, and it looks like he's got like the curly Q with the gel in his hair. I mean, it's...
Is that him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Here, let me pull that up. Wow, okay, here, 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, I'm actually kind of excited for this one, because, like, he's, like, I swear, DC, you better not mess this one up, because, like, he's the most optimistic, like, he is the superhero.
Yeah, he looks big.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's straight up, like...
Yeah, I mean, it's like the golden boots, the cape, the...
Is that actually him?
Yeah, that is him.
Oh, wow. So it takes place around Christmas, it looks like.
Yeah, so it looks like a Christmas tree.
Man, he's got, like, the gold bracers and...
Yeah, he's got... It's...
okay, so yeah, it's got a little bit of the New 52 because he's got the hood, but it's still, like, the shoulder cape.
Yeah, and his hair is, like, one solid piece.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. I'm actually... All right. I'm excited.
That's neat.
Now we just need a set photo of The Rock because...
Well, yeah, because if he's just wearing spandex, then The Rock will just be wearing black spandex.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right. And he doesn't even have a cape or anything.
No, he's just going to be wearing a black onesie.
Mm-hmm, and elf ears. He better have the elf ears.
I'm sure he'll have the elf ears.
I'm excited. I'm ready to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing is Thor's new hammer. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's not news. That was happening a while back, but...
Yeah, it happened, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a little mix between, like, almost Ultimates and also, like, Beta Ray Bill's, like, Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. It is Beta Rays, but it looks more like the Ultimate kind of hammer, where it's a giant. It's not just kind of like a moderately sized hammer. It's like, this is a massive axe, but it has like a wood handle.
So it's interesting. Yeah. Which, having said that, Come on, Marvel. If you really want to impress me, put Beta Ray Bill in there.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
For those of you at home who don't know who Beta Ray Bill is, he is like a big goat Thor.
Or like kangaroo-looking Thor.
Yeah, he's weird, but he's like...
He's an alien.
Yeah, he's like an alien. He looks like it's like a human body with just like a big goat or kangaroo head.
Yeah.
He's got like a Thor hammer, and he's pretty cool.
Yeah, because from while in the 90s, it seemed like every superhero like got other superhero. Like it's like, oh, you're Earth Thor. Here's Space Thor.
Yeah.
Here's like original Thor.
Yeah, and then there's like that was around the same time as like the edgy like armored Batman, which I don't know. To be fair, I think Beta Ray Bill might actually. He might actually be a lot older than I thought.
Yeah.
But still, like he does scream of '90s. Like, oh no, actually,
for a while there, it was kind of like
Thunderstrike was '90s. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah.
The like he's got like a denim vest or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that I like '90s Thor.
Like again, it's like Keyblades. Like originally, it's like this is Mjolnir. This is the one.
Yeah.
Nobody has a copy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait, but no. Everyone like they're not that special. Everyone's got a magic hammer.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, to be fair, at least in Kingdom Hearts, they established it in the first game. There's others because like Mickey had one, and then like the Ansem or whatever had made one. But yeah, it's like okay, guys.
Yeah.
Now there's just a bunch of Mjolnirs. PSN had the free games this month are really good actually.
I have not to look them up.
It's Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank.
Whoa!
Yeah, like they pulled out the stops for this.
Yeah.
They're like, by the way, we're gonna give you two really awesome games.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah,
and it's the remake Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, like the new one that came out a year ago.
Yeah, I know. I've played. Have you played that one?
No, is it good?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's a remake of the original game.
Yeah.
So like.
But knowledge. It's like self-aware.
Yeah, so it's the first game, but it's a remake of the first game. But it's a remake. Well, okay, one sec. It's self-aware that it's a movie tie-in for the movie that came out, but it's just a remake because the movie is based off
the first game, and the first game came out on PS2, so they wanted people to be able to play it.
Yeah, so
it's like it's separate own entity.
It is, but you're playing through like new versions of some of the original old game.
So it's like they took all the like aesthetics and locales, but then they completely made new levels.
They're similar,
mostly new levels, but like the same.
It's themes. Really good though, yeah. But it is. It knows that like it's aware that it's a tie-in movie to a movie that's a remake of older game.
Kind of amazing.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
Like it's a really solid, good deal.
Bloodborne, man.
Yeah, that one's like a good one. That's a really good game. Like I already have it, but I'll probably snag the digital copy just because, like, whatever, you know. And then there's also a couple others that for PS. There's like one for one or two for PS3 and PSP Vita, but there's like a deal where if you get it, then you also get it on the PS4. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Because, like, if I might be able to go on the website and just claim it on my...
Yeah, well, and the big thing is now that as of March 8th is the last day that you'll be able to download the free game, PSN games for PS3 and Vita. Yeah. And then they're going to stop.
Yeah, they're straight up killing the Vita.
You can go back and like download those games and make sure that you have them. And as long as you have a PSN subscription using the older software, you'll still be able to get the games that you downloaded, but they're not offering anymore.
Yeah. It's
and that's March 8th.
Yeah. The PS Vita, man, that was a great console that they murdered.
It's insanely good.
There's actually a video that really breaks it down. It was called like. The PlayStation Vita wasn't just killed; it was murdered. Yeah, and it's like he goes into that and like just why it failed because like it's such an amazing console, but it didn't get this one. It didn't get the support it needed, and then the big thing was like memory cards because it had such small.
Oh yeah.
Like instead of using an SD card, it was a proprietary SD card.
Oh yeah,
and it was like 32 gigabytes was like $100.
It's a very Japanese console.
Yeah,
like. Everything about that console screams Japan. Which is, there's the negatives, like proprietary stuff, but then the positives, which is like some of the best games to come out of Japan were on the Vita. Like my Vita is almost all anime looking characters.
Yeah, and it is pretty rad. I kind of want to get one, and now that it's dying, it'll be super cheap.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing through Akiba Strip, or Akiba Strip, however you want to say that, which is an old game, but
it is still really cool.
My Vita purchase was within the past year, so.
Yeah.
And I played Persona 4 Golden.
For like an entire year.
For like an entire year, because I'm terrible at
I need to play
playing through RPGs in a timely manner.
I need to play a Persona. I was like either 4 or 5.
I recommend jumping in on 4.
Just jumping on 4? Because you were telling me that you wanted... I probably would just want to skip the other 3, right? The first ones?
No, 3 is really, really good, but 4 is the most forgiving, like hand-holding.
Gotcha.
Welcome to Persona. Yeah,
but like
it's really good.
The first 2 are kind of like...
The first 2 are brutal.
They're like the J-est of JRPGs.
Yeah, and it's very grindy. It's unforgiving.
Yeah.
They're really rough.
Yeah.
3 is really good. It's tough. It's difficult. It's definitely a Japanese mature RPG.
Yeah.
But 3, I have friends that fight over whether 3 or 4 is better. 3 is very dark, and 3 is very apocalyptic in nature.
Yeah.
4 has an apocalyptic kind of story, but it's like very lighthearted.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So like the sense of dread is there, but it's not just like in 3 to pull out your.
It's like the sense of dread in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like think about it like this: in Persona 4, you call out your persona just by going Persona, and it comes out. In Persona 3, to pull out your persona, you shoot yourself in the head.
Holy.
So
all right.
that is if that explains the tonal differences.
That does very well explain the differences.
Yeah,
wow.
and 4 Golden is even better. And
that's
actually
like the complete.
Yeah, and they did some voice work, so they brought in some better voice actors and actresses.
Okay.
And it's incredible. 5's good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay, that's cool. I'll have to check it out because like it's always kind of been interesting to me because it's like it's like this JRPG dungeon crawl with like this kind of slice of life dating sim type thing. Also,
it's like half dungeon crawler RPG, half visual novel.
It's like an anime, right? Because it's like the characters like they're in high school and they have to go to class, but then they also go save the world.
Yeah, and you have to go to class. That's like you actually have to. You only have a limited amount of days in the game to do certain things.
And
so you
time
have
per day.
Yeah, and time per day. So you can only do a few events per day because you have to go to school and you have to study. And studying is an event. So you go home,
like
you open up.
It's like a minigame type thing?
No, it's not a minigame. You just have to study, and then you lose that time section.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But it helps increase your stats and stuff.
Is there like a mechanic for like the test or whatever? Like, so where like the more you study, like... Is it just like automated or whatever? Or do you actually?
No. You actually. So you'll have sections in the game where you have class, and the teacher will ask you a question, and if you get it right, they'll go and you get a boost to intelligence. If you get it wrong, they'll tell you the answer. Remember that, because at the end of the semesters when you're taking your finals, they ask you the questions again, and you as the player have to answer them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And does like this studying play into that at all? Like, do you have like fewer options or whatever, or is it just like you just have to do it?
You just kind of have to. It helps. It's boosting stats.
Okay, so
it's like I need to go to eat this beef bowl, and my dexterity will go up.
Right. Okay, and I need to study, and my int goes up.
Yeah, or I need to go on a date to increase my standing with a character, and then your bond. And as you bond with characters, then like you get better stats when they fight, or you unlock.
Yeah, like in Fire Emblem or whatever, where characters that fight alongside each other get closer. That's cool.
Which is all really old news since Persona is like 12 years old now.
4. Yeah. There's a lot of them.
5 I've watched. I haven't been able to play it. I've watched people play through it, and it is like one of the most visually just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always been a series that's been super interesting, man. I just never dived into it. Dove into it? dove into it because it's like I never dividend into it.
Yeah.
I need to get those dividends. Gotta get those sweet dividends from that Persona. Yeah. So I had on here.
I think what that meant was buy a PS Vita and play some games.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. The bottom line. Yeah, I had on here talk about the Diablo on Switch rumor, but then that was debunked, so we can pass on that. No Diablo on the Switch.
All right.
But maybe that the fact that the rumors got so much traction, they'll consider it. I mean, that'd be a fun game on the Switch because it's like you can pick it up. I mean, well, Diablo 2. I don't know about Diablo 3. I couldn't get into Diablo 3. Now, I heard they fixed a lot that was wrong with it, but...
yeah, that would be a fun on-the-go type
game. Yeah, I think it would lend itself well. Especially, I mean, like, a little bit for us just get to have because it's convenient, but, like, especially in Japan because it's so co-op heavy and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, like, they're all about, like, the mobility and local multiplayer and stuff like that. Which, oh man, that would have been a good segue, but I want to save that one for later. So put a pin in that. We could briefly talk about, I guess, the new Battlefield. I believe, I don't remember how much of this was rumor, how much of this was confirmed, but supposedly the new Battlefield is set in World War II.
Okay.
And is set to have loot boxes, but they're cosmetic. So I'm down with that. I'm fine. I mean, that's what Overwatch does, and that's fine.
We've done a huge loop, right?
Yeah.
Call of Duty is like, oh, we're World War II. Then they went all the way to the future. Then they went back to World War II.
Yeah.
Battlefield started with Battlefield 1942.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then went to the modern stuff. Then went back. So, yeah.
Yeah, starting the loop again because apparently people are ready to shoot Nazis again. I'm always ready to shoot Nazis. I prefer to shoot them with lasers or machine guns. But that's fine. I can do it with, like, an M1. Is that the rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know my gun stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if they are legitimately just doing cosmetic stuff, then yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Because depending on how they do it, again, because like Overwatch has loot boxes that are purely cosmetic because they are constantly putting out like new stuff for free, like characters and maps and stuff like that. So it's like if it means free DLC in exchange for cosmetic microtransactions, then yeah, sure, sign me up.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I said, playing through Ghost Recon Wildlands, some of their multiplayer stuff, you had to pay for characters, and I feel like that's really dumb, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
But they're doing loot boxes that are cosmetic. But the reason, like the way, I like how they're doing it, because if you're paying money for it, it actually will, like, randomize, and then if you have items, those items don't go into the randomization.
Okay, so you can never get duplicates.
Right.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
But you're paying money.
Yeah, I mean, that's less cool. But
and, I don't really want a pink AK.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Now, pink Glock, that's fine.
Yeah.
Pink AK, that's just ridiculous. Everybody knows AKs come in two variety, wood and gold, and that is it.
It's true.
It's, yeah, and I mean, and that's, the whole microtransaction thing. It's gotten out of hand, because, like,
It really has.
Yeah. Because, let's take a quick aside. I'm messing up my segues, because I would have also segued into something, but I wanted to cover before that, because I get the feeling that's going to be our main thing. Just briefly touch on the new Overwatch character, what's coming out. She's in the PTR right now. She's pretty cool. I know you don't know a ton about Overwatch, but she's a support character, but she's also dips a little bit into kind of the tank role as well.
Okay.
So she's in like basically power armor, kind of looks almost a little medieval, and she's got an energy barrier shield and like a rocket flail. So that's pretty cool.
So she sounds like a Warhammer character.
She actually does kind of sound like she looks because she's like based on. She's one of the other characters' daughters, and he's basically like Gimli if Gimli was born in Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like a Swedish dude, but he kind of looks like Gimli, and he makes turrets and stuff. And then she was trained by another one of the characters, Reinhardt, who is very much a mix between like Warhammer and Warcraft, so to speak, because he's like in like some big power armor, and he's got a big hammer, but it's kind of got a little bit of a fantasy feel, and so she's kind of between those two. So she's pretty cool. She's they've done a good job of every character they've put out has provided, like, fill the hole, you know?
Okay.
So, like, she's filling a hole in the support / defense, you know, tank type situation. So that's pretty cool. She's in the test servers right now, so she should be out in a little bit. So I'm figuring the main event today is going to be Metal Gear Survive.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to talk about something more fun first. So in regards to just, you know, when we're talking about Battlefield, like, I'm down with cosmetic microtransactions if it means free DLC. Well, that typically is the MO for Monster Hunter. Yeah. And the new Monster Hunter World seems to be following that. They have some stuff that you can buy, but it's purely cosmetic, like emotes, stickers for your hunter card. Okay. One skin that you can buy, it's like an armor set that's like a samurai armor set that it just goes, like, you apply it, but it doesn't have stats. It just goes over your armor. Okay. Yeah. And then they've already planned some free releases, like new monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the previous ones have just been free.
Yeah, and so it's like this one's a bigger title, and it's gonna have a lot more in it. So the microtransactions kind of like make sense because it's really only a handful of things. There's not much in there. It's just a few little things here and there, and then the rest. I mean, they've already put in some free post-launch stuff with the some of the events they've done. Yeah. So I mean, Monster Hunter World. I mean, that's how you do it, you know. Because if you're supporting the game post-launch for free like that, and it's such a huge game, they could have easily charged for DLC, you know, and they've done a good job. They're like, hey, we really want this to be. I mean, that's why it's actually called Monster Hunter World. I mean, there's like in-game reasons why it's called Monster Hunter World, but like the main thing is because it's the first game that they've really marketed as a worldwide property, and it's actually the first one to launch worldwide on the same day too. So yeah. I mean, it's and that's how it should be done, you know. I didn't think I'd be telling people, hey, be more like Capcom in the way you do DLC and microtransactions, because for a while when the 360 had come out and they started, you know, like that became a thing, they started out being a little shady about that. Yeah. But they really come around.
8 different versions of Super Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, and they're
Hyper Super Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, and they're
classic Hyper Super Street Fighter 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're on disc DLC for probably those for a while. Yeah, but they really come around, and like Monster Hunter World is proof of it. It's a huge AAA title, probably one of the more expensive ones to make, and it's $60 and you get everything in it, like right from the beginning. And that's,
boy, what a concept!
Yeah, no kidding. It's a shame that's not the norm. I mean, it is still the norm, but it's less common for AAA titles nowadays, unless you're Nintendo, in which case you care more about the game than making money, apparently. Which they are making money now, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, because we need them. We need them to keep making money. So.
And maybe we have mentioned it, but the NES Classic coming back summer 2018.
Yes. Oh no, we didn't mention it, but we should.
Mention alert. Yeah. There's no specific date yet, but
no. But I'm psyched.
Yeah, I think I only am lacking like maybe 6 titles or 5 titles from its library, but I still want one.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I want it on my shelf next to the on my desk or whatever, you know, next to my Super Nintendo Classic, and it is convenient to bust it out every now and then.
It is,
you know?
And save states are sometimes fun.
Yeah, it can be fun. I had to capture some footage recently for a video, and it was handy to just be able to load up the save state, rewind a few seconds. Let's give that another try. Yeah. and then pop right back to it. Yeah. So that's good. I'm looking forward to that. And and it was really cool. It's novel. It's got like, you know, a bunch of stuff on it. bunch of good games. Its lineup is not nearly as good as the Super Nintendo, though.
No.
Because, I mean, the Super Nintendo is just the All-Stars minus, what, like, Chrono Trigger, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so, unless you have any other way to stall, I guess we have to talk about Metal Gear Survive now.
I guess we do have to talk about Metal Gear Survive.
So, opening statements?
I don't like Konami anymore.
So I'm going to utter some words that physically hurt me, but I never thought I would say this. But I really wish Konami would stop making games and just do their pachinko.
Yeah.
I just want Konami to make pachinko machines and not make video games anymore.
And I say it with a heavy heart because I'm staring at a Metal Gear Rex figure right now that's next to a Metal Gear Solid question mark. It's like a motion detector.
Oh, yeah?
But it's really loud and it doesn't stop once you walk by it. So,
didn't you in Japan? Didn't you pick up like the Kodak alarm clock or whatever? Or is that actually your alarm clock?
The Kodak alarm clock is in packing still from the move.
Oh, really? Gotcha.
Yeah, but because I got that.
That's been the only.
That one's also super loud.
Yeah, I remember. And part of the novelty is lost because it's the Japanese voice acting. So cool, but not like it doesn't like if you don't. It's not Solid Snake if you don't hear David Hayter and
or if if you don't know Japanese,
or if you don't know Japanese, like me, where it's like I hear a Kodak noise and then I hear some Japanese coming out of the box and I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, like I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. As you can tell through our skits.
Yeah.
And the 8 or 9 copies of every game I own.
Yeah.
I am like that's my favorite series.
Yeah.
Like it is my all-time favorite series, and
well, it's like a weird military political espionage kind of like alternate history type of crazy thing, and it's so simultaneously the most ridiculous yet still grounded series.
Yeah, you watch it and you're like, man, that's really grounded. But what am I saying? Because there's robot machines.
Yeah, an actual vampire.
There's a vampire
and a nuclear equipped
walking
bipedal battle tank. Yeah,
and a cyborg ninja, and
it's
a shaman. Yeah, pretty great. But that's beside the point because we're talking about all the good stuff that Metal Gear's brought us.
Yeah.
I just want to say right now, all that good stuff had a name attached to it, and that was Kojima. And now that he's gone,
I mean, apparently the people who worked on Metal Gear Survive agree with you. Have you heard about that?
I've read some.
Yeah, so there was...
my disinterest was so much that I kind of keep tabs on it, but I just can't bring myself.
Yeah, I looked a little bit of it up just specifically for today. I was like, all right, I'll do it. And they posted... There's when you create your character, I guess, you put in your name and then there's a clipboard that has a bunch of names of different operatives.
Yeah.
And their code names, right? Yeah. Like Barracuda, whatever, Solid Snake, all that shit. So basically, you take the last name or the second name of everybody on that list, and it spells KGP forever.
Huh.
So Kojima Productions Forever.
Yeah.
And I think there was a couple names like Kojima and another person listed solemnly listed as KIA, and then 2 other people associated listed as MIA.
Okay.
So it's they're the people making the game are as in possibly the most bold manner, especially for a Japanese company.
Yes.
That is the most holy crap, just brazen.
It is. And I mean, why Konami decided that it would be a good idea to try to milk a franchise is beyond me, because if they're trying to get rid of the video games, just go to pachinko, and some of the other business ventures, why step back and fund money into making a game knowing full well that the fan support won't be there?
I guess they're just arrogant enough to think that most people would just do it anyway. I mean, like, okay, well, all right, well, we should probably do a Cliff Notes for people who aren't plugged into what's going on. So, Hideo Kojima, who is the creator and really the sole producer, director, all that for the Metal Gear franchise, which is a legendary game franchise. He was pushed out of the game in the most recent Metal Gear 5.
Phantom Pain.
Right at the end of production, basically pushed out of the team and the company, and was not even allowed to accept his award at an award ceremony for the game.
No.
And then was eventually him and the company parted ways.
And his name was written off the game as well.
He is scrubbed off of every single thing.
Yeah.
And so he left. It was a big controversy. He had a falling out with Konami, and the way that Konami has honored his legacy after forcing him out of the company and removing his name from his magnus opus. I did not say that right. They then created a shameless, soulless cash grab and slapped Metal Gear on it.
Yeah, it's like a zombie survival game, and they just pulled all the attributes from Metal Gear Online. So so basically, grabbing character models and controls.
They basically just took all the assets from
Metal Gear 5,
from Kojima's game.
Yeah, and made a zombie survival game.
Yeah,
and then tried to tie it into the actual plot.
Yeah, it's technically a Metal Gear game. Big Boss was in it for 20 seconds at the beginning.
Yeah, because it takes place after Ground Zeroes when
you rescue a science guy or something, right?
It's like a wormhole. It's like when
Wait, is there an actual worm?
Yeah, it's like a wormhole appears during. Have you played Ground Zeroes?
No.
Okay, so the new boy. I'm blanking. Outer Heaven gets attacked.
Yeah.
And everybody at Outer Heaven's getting killed. Snake's trying to get everybody off, and he's trying to save everybody because the government said, "Oh, we're going to hold a sanction and check out your new base."
Yeah.
And the whole thing was actually a raid.
Gotcha.
And so I guess Survive takes place during this raid when everything is getting destroyed and blown up, and a wormhole appears and sucks people into it.
Yeah. So that's okay. I just wanted to clarify the way you said it sounded like there was actually a wormhole in Metal Gear.
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. I was a little confused there for a second. Yeah, because I didn't think there was a wormhole anywhere in any Metal Gear.
No.
Yeah. So it pulls a bunch of soldiers
through, and then they basically just end up on a big giant gray boring map, and there's crystal-headed zombies.
Yeah, it's like zombies, but their head's missing. They have a lower jaw and then just a crystal.
Yeah,
for where their head is.
And they're attacking you, and you've got to survive
by poking them with a stick.
Yeah. Stick poking. Because they saw that one scene in Walking Dead where they tied knives to the ends of the sticks and were stabbing them through the fences, and they're like, we want to do that the entire game.
Yeah, the most egregious part of the whole thing. Okay, so at first people were like, hey, well, at least they know it's a cash grab, and they only priced it at $40.
Yes.
But it has the most offensive microtransactions to date.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does.
It costs $10 to buy a second save slot.
Yeah. So to save your game, you've got to pay them money.
Yeah. It's like you get one for free, but you want any others, nope, you got to buy it. Other basic things that would be a part of any normal progression in a game have also been locked off, like additional loadouts and other things. Cost real world money. It's filled with like straight up Clash of Clans iPhones level of microtransactions, like this action will take an hour real time, but you can pay to not wait.
It's
bad.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's
almost a non-existent game.
Yeah.
With you basically have to play to do anything in the game, but there's not really anything to do in the game.
Yeah, and because you just fight the same basic boring enemies, it's just a slog. It's bad. It's nonsense, and especially it doesn't make sense because like what were they even? What market are they chasing with this? Right?
I have no idea.
Because like the zombie thing is already kind of
come and gone.
It's been for a while.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. Man, I don't know. It's bad.
It's very bad. Yeah.
I mean, for your team to rebel on you like that, you know?
It's pretty. Yeah. It's but I think Kojima is taking it in stride, and he now has his own productions, and Sony has given him
the keys to the country.
Yeah, they've basically given him a blank check to do whatever. Which I guess we can turn this around and be a little bit more positive.
Yeah.
Because he is solely responsible for Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't tell you what it's about. I have no idea what it is. Because this is what happens when Kojima is given a blank check and the keys to the kingdom, and they're like, yeah, just make a game, dude. And you get
you get whatever
really awesome trailers, and I cannot wait to play the game. I am so stoked, but I have no idea what it's about or what's going on.
It's got Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus in it, though. So
you get the first trailer, and Norman Reedus is naked on a beach.
He's holding the baby. He's got the Reedus fetus.
Yeah, he's like holding a baby, and there's things floating up in in space, and you're like, what is going on? In the second trailer, you've got Guillermo del Toro, the director, in the game.
Yeah.
With a baby, and he's being chased by Mads Mikkelsen, who has like tentacle robot things and bloody eyes. And then you get the third trailer, and it looks like a bunch of space dudes getting attacked by invisible monsters. It's the most insane, crazy looking game, but I am so excited because
I have literally no idea what it's going to be about, and that excites me. Like I want to. It's a game. It's one of the few games in a while where I've really had the desire, good or bad, to play it day one, like midnight release, before anything is out on it, and just sit down and play that bad boy.
That game,
like I'll miss work that day.
Yeah, that game has me so excited because nobody knows what's happening. Like, every time we see a trailer, it's some weird, crazy new concept. And so I feel like playing that game, you have to play it the moment it comes out, and you just have to go. Don't look up anything.
Nope.
Don't ask about it. Don't talk about it, because I feel like it's going to be such a weird experience. And I would bet money that if you and I played through it and beat it, and then talked about it, we would not even be talking about the same game.
No, probably not.
No.
I'm pretty stoked.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is a genius, and and he's a legend.
Yeah.
Konami doesn't know what they lost.
Love him or hate him, he's made some decisions people hate. He's made some decisions people love. But he's got a style, and he has a vision, and it's unlike anybody else.
Yeah. And I mean, it's very rare that you get a person who literally everybody who meets them just immediately loves them. You know what I mean? And then like literally everybody has been on his side on this. Like, even Jeff Keighley. He's been in games media for as long as I can remember. Like, but and even he just straight up was just like, in the middle of like an award ceremony, live, calls out Konami on live TV, and it's just, by the way, Hideo Kojima wishes he could be here to accept his award that we are awarding him for Metal Gear Solid 5. But we were being told that his lawyers Konami's lawyers have informed him he's not allowed to be here. FYI, everybody at home. And it's like, wow, like that takes a lot to get somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro apparently are BFFs with him because they worked on a game for like a month with him, and we're like, dude, this guy's awesome.
And Silent Hills was going to be Kojima's next big thing after Metal Gear 5, or Metal Gear Solid 5, and that got completely derailed. Like, we got PT, but now you can't even play the teaser because Konami pulled it. Yeah,
I'm glad I have it on my console. Like,
and I didn't get a PS4 in time to download it before they pulled it, and but that thing is, a 30-minute long teaser, and it's still one of the better games to have come out the year it came out.
Yeah, no, like straight up, like it was a free download, and it was just a teaser.
It's an experience.
It probably was nothing like what the game was going to be. Like I imagine like from controls, it probably wasn't even going to be first person. I mean, who knows? It was probably absolutely nothing representative of the engine or mechanics of the game, but it was this thing that he just put together.
I know people that have more playtime on that teaser than they do on full-fledged games.
I mean, I've played it. Man, I played it for total time that I've played it. I've probably played it for like 5 hours at least.
Yeah, and you're in one hallway.
Like maybe even more, yeah.
Yeah, you're in one hallway the whole time.
It's bonkers, and it's so unnerving and unsettling, and every time you think you got it, it just changes.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so
if you haven't played it, get a hold of it somehow and play it.
Yeah,
it's worth it. But Konami, they used to be just on top of the world of video games, and you kind of wonder,
like. Look at Super Nintendo, like, I mean...
Hey, look at their arcades.
Yeah.
Like
Like, even PlayStation. Like original PlayStation 2, I mean, they were great for a long time.
They were, and you just have to wonder, is it a control thing? Is it is it where the money's coming from? Is the politics of it? But it's kind of a shame to think, man, usually, if you heard Konami, you knew that you were in for a great experience. Now you hear it and it's just tainted by the disrespect it's had towards its own creators and its own team,
and really the way it's even treating its customers at this point.
But hey, I think we're giving them too much time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they don't really deserve it. All things considered.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I completely lost my train of thought.
It happens when you talk about.
But yeah, just closing on that, just what I had heard, and I can't back this up. So please, before you spread it, look it up to make sure I'm getting this right. But my understanding of the how that all is with Konami is it's very much. That company is just rife with nepotism.
Yeah.
Kojima had to strong arm his way into a position because they were not going to give it to him because he's not of blood, so to speak. He's not family with anyone.
It definitely suffers from being a very, very old school Japanese company.
Yeah, and so he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way by getting the position that he did that he rightfully deserved, but. I mean, and I don't know how much of that is true or whatever, but either way, I'm done talking about Konami. They don't deserve any more of our time.
Well, this is about the time in the podcast that we do our little retro corner.
Oh, yeah.
I have something to talk about. Do you have any retro news?
I don't think I do off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I guess the first thing I'd like to talk about is actually an event. For our listeners, all 5 of you, there is a pinball festival that's coming in the next 2 weeks to Texas, and so it'll be March 16th through the 18th. It's going to be at the Dallas Frisco Hotel and Convention Center, which is in Frisco, Texas.
Yeah.
And we are going to try our hardest to be there at least one day.
Yeah.
We'll keep everyone posted and updated.
Yeah, we'll post on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, and we'd love to see our fans and followers come out, whenever we do. But it is... Pinball's not really, that's not like a video game.
Yeah, it's kind of video game adjacent.
It's adjacent. It's right at that cusp.
It's at that like arcade culture,
Yeah, and it's just something. It's something I don't know a lot about. I have a coworker and a good friend that is his jam. Yeah. And he told me about the festival, and his passion for it actually kind of made me want to go check it out. Yeah. So I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
There are, believe it or not, like pinball celebrities.
Yeah.
And, and I believe it 100%.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like the King of Kong,
Yeah, you just don't really think about it. Oh, yeah. But there's going to be vendors, events, tournaments, and there are going to be some retro arcades. So they're going to have I don't have the exact number. I'm actually looking right now at the game lineup. And the amount of scrolling I'm doing to get through how many pinball machines are going to be there is insane. So it's going to be probably the loudest. It's going to be louder than the metal concert.
Yeah.
The classic arcade stuff, tiny, but it'll still be there, and there's going to be vendors. So
I mean, you say tiny, but it was still like a solid like. It would look like about 10, maybe more, something like that.
Oh, more, yeah, definitely, definitely more than 10.
Yeah.
So should be fun. We're gonna, we'll let everybody know a little bit more about it, but we'd love to see you all out there, and I'm kind of excited to learn about pinball.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it looks super fun. Like, I'm kind of pumped for it,
Yeah. So that I guess that's our announcement. My retro news for the day is it's actually not a video game, but again, video game related, and it's music.
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
It's very interesting, and I'm sure our listeners are going to be like, yeah, duh, we listen to these guys all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I found a band called Yellow Magic Orchestra, and their first album was in 1978, and I heard about them because I'm reading a book about Nintendo and kind of the history of it. And there's a portion that talks about video game music and some of the composers. And a lot of them were talking about this band called Yellow Magic Orchestra. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. Yeah. I actually pulled them up on iTunes, and they have a bunch of their albums. And so I bought the first one, listened through it, and was shocked. They do use a lot of game sampling music from like Space Invaders, and stuff like that. But their music itself sounds like a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
There's a few tracks in general, and we're gonna put a little sound bit.
Yeah,
here.
like 20.
Yeah, just so you guys can kind of hear the one. There some of the songs. My bad, I'm getting ahead of myself. Some of the music actually sounds like there's one in particular that sounds exactly like Earthbound.
There's a lot of things that sound exactly like Earthbound, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, yes, Earthbound did do a lot of sampling of famous songs, but like the actual
No, I'm tracking.
The feel of it. You're listening to it and you go, man, I want to play Earthbound. That's or Mother 2. Yeah. If you want to be that way.
Pedantic.
But yeah, their music's really good, so I've been listening to it. It's great to have on in the background. There's not a lot of... It's all music. There's no lyrics to it.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it because, you'll see influences that composers pulled from... I've heard that Nobuo Uematsu doesn't really like them because he's like, I liked that type of music before them.
Oh, okay.
He's very hipster about it, but Uematsu's an incredible composer on his own. But it's fun. It's fun. So that's my retro corner.
There's a quick little aside here, and I'll go ahead and throw this picture up if I can find it here, because. It's It's a picture
Mm-hmm.
of oh geez, his name escapes me. He's like the director of Devil May Cry and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and he is. This is him from like when he was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and it explains everything he's ever made.
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
yeah, and he's sitting there in his like leather biking jacket.
He kind of looks like Negan.
Yeah.
Like way before Negan in Walking Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does explain it. You see him and you're like, oh yeah, okay, well, I get it. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I'll throw that up on the screen. And
it's kind of like the Team Ninja guy.
Dude.
Like, he's like Japanese Tommy Wiseau.
Man, like, and if we had went to, so, I guess we had to back up a little bit. So there's a bar called Bar Plastic Model, and it was in No More Heroes, right?
The game No More Heroes.
Game No More Heroes
mentions the bar.
Oh, mentions the bar. Yeah.
Well, there is a Bar Plastic Model in the game, and it's kind of sort of.
But it's not quite the bar.
Uh-huh.
But like we would have met him if we'd been there earlier that day when we went.
Not the Team Ninja guy.
No. Oh wait, no. I'm getting mixed up.
Suda 51.
Suda 51.
Or Suda Goichi.
Yeah, I don't know why. When I pictured.
Oh, they're both kind of characters.
They both have that persona.
That kind of wackiness to
But
them.
no, we wouldn't have met Team Ninja Guy. We would have met Suda 51. But he's another person that just has like. His personality transcends his work. You know?
Yeah.
Suda 51. They're supposed to be a new No More Heroes coming out on the Switch.
I would love that. I would really love that.
Yeah. But all right, so that's today's podcast.
It is.
We'll see y'all next week, and hopefully next week when we see you, there will be the newest Super Comedy Bros up. So we look forward to that.
And then
look forward to that probably Friday.
Yeah, and we'll have another podcast up before the Pinball Festival. But check social media because we'll definitely update you. Yeah,
and then also I know we've mentioned it before, but we also have our 8-bit skits, which are our 1-minute little short videos that we do every week, and those also go up on our social media. So if you're interested in those, go check them out. We do little funny things and Metal Gear and other games, and parodies and stuff like that. So it should be fun. Yeah. All right. So see y'all next week.
Talk to you later.